Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Pokemon, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys my complete Mothman collection post-death of Metazoo. Now that Metazoo's in bankruptcy, what does my Mothman collection look like? So, when I was collecting Metazoo actively, I was focusing mostly on Mothman and Frogman, and eventually I'll probably show you guys my Frogman collection as well, but I tried to focus my collecting a little bit. And I spent most of that time on Mothman, Frogman, and then just various holos from every set that I really enjoyed. I think I've built a pretty cool Mothman collection, so I want to show you guys all of it in this video. And also, my eBay will be linked in the description box below. I'm going to be thinning this herd a little bit, and I've also got a bunch of duplicates that are not in this video, but they're in my safe. I'm going to be listing some of those. But some of these 9s that you're going to see in this collection, because I mostly collect 10s, there's going to be some 9s listed on my eBay if you guys are interested. So eBay linked in the description below. You can follow me on there. So let's start with this small stack here. So this is probably one of my favorite Mothman cards in this entire collection. I've told this story many, many times. But the first and only Collecticon I've been to, me and my buddy Chris, he's my best friend. He lives in Texas. I live in Ohio. I went down there to visit him and go to Collecticon. We went for the release of Nightfall, and we got the Nightfall spoiler packs. And we went through the line a bunch of times. We each got a bunch of packs, and we stood in line. We just split up the packs. We had 8 or 10 packs or so. And we split up the packs, 4 or 5 packs each, not knowing, what was going to be in them. And, of course, Chris pulled this card, and then he left it sit out in his hot car for weeks, months, eventually sent it to PSA, somehow got a PSA 10, and this is a Population 3 card. Very difficult to get, very difficult to grade. I bought one from a guy on Facebook, ungraded, graded it, and it got a PSA 10. And again, Population 3. I will probably never sell this card. A lot of great memories with this and my friend Chris, and I love this card, and just very difficult card to come by. Collecticon Nightfall Mothman. So that's one of my favorites. Next up, a PSA 10 full holo Kickstarter Mothman. I pulled this on my birthday stream where I bought 3 Kickstarter boxes. I've been trying forever to get a PSA 10 Kickstarter Mothman, and finally I pulled one myself, graded it myself, and it got a PSA 10, and it just so happened to be on my birthday, so that made it a little bit extra fun. So PSA 10 Kickstarter Mothman. At one point, these were going for like $10,000 in a PSA 10. Maybe right now they're going for like $700, but I love this card. Got a regular Nightfall Mothman PSA 10. You got to have one of those. Obviously kind of a staple for collectors to have a Nightfall Mothman PSA 10. But I'll show you guys the difference. I actually pulled this myself as well. The Super Saiyan error, they call it, where the yellow around the Mothman didn't quite take to the holofoil. So you can see this yellow aura around the Mothman. So I pulled that error card myself. Really sick looking version of it that also got a 10. So I've got both Nightfall Mothman and a PSA 10, as well as my Collecticon Moth. The first Mothman Festival promo, which was very difficult to get. I went to this Mothman Festival also with my friend Chris and my girlfriend at the time, now my ex-girlfriend. But they were supposed to have these at the festival. They didn't have them at the booth, and then we had to mail in for them. Very difficult to get, and even harder to get in a PSA 10. They've got the little Mothman Museum stamp, so this is the first Mothman Festival I ever went to, specifically for Metazoo. This was also at the time, as you can see by the crest, that UFO was being released. A lot of good memories behind that card. This is the Dimac Blind Box Mothman. So if you guys remember, there were Dimac boxes where you would get a shirt and a promo card that was corresponding to the shirt. They were completely random, hence blind boxes. This is the Mothman and a PSA 10 from that. Of course, you got to have a regular Cryptid Nation First Edition Mothman, the OG, that I at one point sold for $2,000. I've graded so many of these over the years since Metazoo came out. I've probably graded 50 to 100 of these, and probably 50-ish in a PSA 10. I've sold a bunch of these over the years, but the highest I sold one for $2,000. The lowest recently maybe $60, $70, and now they're going back up. I just sold one last week for $161. Of course, you got to have the reverse holo. This is first edition, not Kickstarter. Of course, you got to have the second edition Mothman in a PSA 10. You can see some slight differences. The coloration of second edition had a little bit more of a blue tint to it. So, of course, you got to have second edition Moth in a PSA 10. Let's get on to the next pile here. Bear Walker. So the skateboard collab with Bear Walker, an unredeemable Bear Walker Mothman in a PSA 10. Honestly, one of my favorite Mothman artworks, along with the Revive Cryptid Nation Mothman in a PSA 10, done by Saban. I also used to have a Nightfall Mothman in a PSA 10, but it was redeemable, and I hadn't scratched it. So I ended up cracking that case, scratching that card, redeeming it, getting the board. Then I sold the scratched version of the card. So I'm still missing a Nightfall Revive Mothman in a PSA 10. If anybody has one you're looking to sell, that card I'm looking for. So I am missing a few things. That card, the Zombie Mothman from Hero Quest in a PSA 10, I'm still missing. And there's another one I'm missing. I'll show you guys in a minute. This is the second Mothman Festival promo from this past year. Really cool looking artwork done by Afton. Really dark for the Dark Tower in a PSA 10. Really fun Mothman Festival. Again, I went with my buddy Chris. No girlfriend that time when I went. This is the Pin Club Mothman from the Pin Club collab, where there was a corresponding pin, obviously. This is the PSA 10. Metazoo did do a lot of really fun collabs. That was one of the things that I enjoyed about Metazoo. There was a lot. If you're a collector, you want to collect all of them. And there were so many collabs where you would get your favorite cryptid. And there was a reason why Metazoo was so popular. It was fun. The Metazoo Magicast, the Metapoo Mothman Full Holo. I really like this one too. The PSA 10. Little poop logo on it. Metapoo, of course, being what the haters called Metazoo in the very beginning stages. Another pin, this is the first Pin Club Mothman. These came in a blind box, so you didn't know what you were going to get. And this was the Cryptid Nation Pin Club Mothman in a PSA 10. This is the Blister Pack promo from first edition. I also used to have one of these, a Kickstarter one, but I sold it in a PSA 10. Now, this is the other card I'm missing. So this is just the regular WPT playing card from the second Kickstarter that Metazoo did. Just a regular playing card in a PSA 10. I used to have the special one with the all holographic background, the in-house made version. So just the Mothman was on there, the King logos, the Kickstarter logo, then all this white space was Metazoo Holo. I used to have one. I graded it, and it got like a terrible grade, like a 6 or a 7, and I ended up selling that card. But that's still a card I want to add to my collection in a higher grade, is that full holo Mothman. There's also a variation of it for the Queen, but I had the King version. So if anyone has one of those and you're selling, hit me up. Then, of course, the Mothman to Arms King from the second Kickstarter in a PSA 10, and the Mothman to Arms Queen from that second Kickstarter in a PSA 10. Then the serialized Dimac rug promo, and this was number 160 out of 200. It came with a big rug. I've got the rug hanging up over there. So this looks just like what the rug looks like. Really cool promo card, numbered out of 200. Speaking of serialized cards, you have the Topps First Sighting Mothman. I bought this when Metazoo was, I don't remember if it was after it was bankrupt or not, but I got this for like $700 at one point. This was going all day for like $5,000. Number 34 out of 99, PSA 10 from the Topps Series 0, not Topps Chromes. This was pretty hard to get. Those sets were searchable, as you guys well know. Just a regular Mothman cryptid camera. One of my subscribers sent this to me, actually. Ah, shit, now I'm trying to remember his name. You know who you are if you're watching. But he sent me this because I had such trouble. I had pulled a bunch of these, and I never had any luck grading them. And I'm sorry if I forget your name. I'm sure I'll see you comment down below. But this was a gift from one of my subscribers because I could never grade a PSA 10 myself. So I appreciate you, bro. Regular Topps Chrome Mothman. Nothing special. Just a PSA 10. This is another Topps Series 0. The first Topps that Metazoo did. This was the Aura Holo Mothman. You'd only get one holo per box. It would just be a random card. So it was kind of hard to get these as well. PSA 10 of the Aura Holo. And this is from Topps Series 0 as well. Just the non-holo Mothman. So you would get all these different non-holo cards and then just get a random one that was holo. These are actually very difficult to grade. And I really regret that the other Mothman... I had the X-Fractor in a PSA 10. I've graded multiple PSA 10s, and these are very low pop in a PSA 10, like single-digit population for the X-Fractors. And only like, 20 or 30 total graded of the X-Fractors because they're so hard to pull. But this is the Alt Art Mothman X-Fractor in a PSA 10. And I had a couple of the original Art Mothman in a PSA 10, but I accidentally sold the one that I was going to keep for my personal collection. And now... I never see them on eBay because they're so hard to grade. So if anybody has a PSA 10 X-Fractor original Art Mothman, I'm interested in that as well. There's the regular Refractor Alt Art in a PSA 10, also very difficult to grade. This is the regular Art Mothman in a PSA 10. So this is the X-Fractor that I'm missing. This is just the regular Refractor, but again, the comparison of the number of 9s to 10s, these are very hard to get a PSA 10. And really everything from Topps Chrome was that way. Regular Topps Chrome Mothman Alt Art in a PSA 10. All right, what do we have here? Okay, so this is the first serialized Mothman that I ever pulled myself, and I think the only to this day that I ever pulled myself. I pulled this at the Mothman Festival last year. I brought a bunch of Topps Chrome for me and Chris to open in the Airbnb that we had. I pulled this on stream at that Mothman Festival, the first and only serialized Mothman I ever pulled from Topps Chrome. So I know that it's an 8, but I'm still keeping it because the number was perfect. The serialized number 69. Out of 99, the only Mothman that I ever pulled serialized from Topps Chrome. This is one of the holo variants of the Mothman playing card you could get from that second Kickstarter. I believe this is one of the cards I'm selling. I think I'm selling both the golds. The gold Mothman in a PSA 8. Was there something special about these? Yeah, okay, so this one was number 50 out of 50. So the last of the line, Cryptid Cam Mothman. So it got an 8, yes, but number 50 out of 50. A lot of people like to collect the 1 and then the final. So 1 out of 99, 1 out of 50, or 99 or 50 out of whatever. In this gold one, was there anything? 25 out of 50. Not a bad number, but also a 9. And I believe I'm selling that one as well. This one, very special to me. Lily, one of my favorite Metazoo artists, made this custom art card for me on a blank Metazoo card that I actually pulled myself. I can't remember if it was Wilderness or UFO, but I pulled this blank card, thought it would be great for a custom piece, and Lily did this amazing Mothman for me. So I need to get this graded or authenticated at least by DSG or something. And finally, this green Cryptid Cam PSA 10 Mothman. Again, very difficult to get a PSA 10 for anything from Topps Chrome. But, again, this is number 99 out of 99. The end of the line PSA 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's my Mothman collection in the bankruptcy throes of Metazoo. Again, eBay linked in the description box below. Let me know what you guys thought. Like the video, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And as always, love you guys, appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Pokemon signing out.